Like, I don't understand. How could you do that to one of your best friends? So I got through basketball season and I got through the rest of the school year. It was senior year, thank God. Didn't have to go back. And I never really talked to them after that. I was so happy to get out of that place. And I was like, yes, that's the end of that chapter. Can close it, never open it again, is what I thought. 5 years later, so I'm visiting my parents from college. My brother, he hits me up. He's like, yo, I got a surprise. I'm like,
that's suspicious.
All right, whatever. So I'm home with my parents. My sister was visiting too. We're chilling. We're having a good time. My brother's just like, all right, Wins, go to the kitchen. I got a surprise. I'm like, okay.
That's suspicious.
Brother comes in. He's like, all right, turn around. I turned around and it was the worst possible thing I could have ever saw in that moment of time. Guess who it was? It was Sarah. I was just like, I was lost for words. My jaw literally dropped. How would you react? I never in a million years, I thought I would never see her ever again. I never wanted in my life to see her ever again. And in my parents' house, my safe place, somewhere I go to just get away from everything, just to feel safe and sound, you are going to come into my house. What? Now, granted, my brother has never known, or I've never mentioned anything about Sarah to that point. So to him, he thought this was just a girl I went to high school with. Didn't think anything of it. Oh my God. This, I swear on my life, how she was acting. Oh, my blood was boiling. That was the hardest I've ever had to hold my tongue in my life, because I looked at her, she looked at me, she was smiling, she was just like, oh my God, Winsor, it's been so long.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm getting heated right now. I can feel my blood pressure starting to rise, because just thinking about that moment, she's gonna pretend like none of that happened in our past. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. So she's pretending as if nothing ever happened between us two, comes into my house, puts on this fake smile. I was like, oh, hey. Honestly, I can't even remember what I said. I think I was like, hey, and then I left. Oh my God. Because it was a nightmare. This was my worst nightmare to come true. I was like, I walked away. I walked out of the house and I was like, no, this is a dream. This can't be true. I'm going to wake up. I was like literally slapping my face, pinching my body, because I could not believe what has just happened. So I walked out, and then my brother and Sarah, they put their swimming suits on and they're swimming. So I'm like, that went around, went inside, and I sat my mother down and I was like, Ma, you've never seen me get mad or upset to this degree, but I have to tell you what's going on. So I told her everything. I was so heated to the point where I knew I was going to do something I would regret. And I was just like, all right. So I talked to my mom. I vented everything. I was like, look, he didn't know. Like, it's not his fault. But the fact that she came in here, I'm just not okay with this. So I went to my older sister because she was visiting too. We were living in the same town, same college town. And I looked at her. I was like, hey, look, I know you were going to stay another day or two, but I need to go. I cannot handle this. I have to go. She was just like, what's going on? So I told her as well. And she's just like, I understand. She's like, do you want to say goodbye to anyone or nothing? And I was like, no, I'm just going to pack my things and we need to go ASAP. She's like, okay. So I get all my stuff within seconds. I put it in the car. We're about to leave. I'm in the passenger seat right before she turned the car on and we're about to leave. My brother comes up and so does Sarah. My brother's like, oh, what's going on? You're leaving? I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. Sarah's just like, oh, what? But we're having so much fun.
Shut up, bitch.
So you remember that time earlier when I said that was the hardest I've ever had to hold my tongue in my entire life? I lied, because this was the hardest I've ever had to hold my tongue in my entire life. I was literally biting my tongue. I was biting my tongue down because I was going to curse out this woman. I was about to lose it and say things and do things that I knew I would regret. It would have felt really good at that time, but I just knew I had to hold my tongue. After she said that, I look at my brother and I'm like, I have to go. go. Please close the door. And he was just like, okay. He closed the door. We leave. After that, I was just so upset and mad at her. I kind of projected it at everyone that was involved. So I definitely projected it on my brother. I didn't talk to him for like 3 months straight because I was just so mad at the fact that like he was with her, but he had no clue. I was so mad. I was like, how can this girl bring my brother? He's my best friend. I was just like, no, this is happening again. I was just so extra hurt because I already had trust issues because of her. And then she comes back into my life and takes the closest person to me, my brother, my best friend, my ride or die. And I see her with him and I'm like, no. So I didn't talk to him for 3 months straight. And the thing that sucks is whenever I get so upset and mad, I don't yell, I don't argue, I don't get physical. I just completely shut down and shut myself off from that person, that situation, everything at all. I will not talk to you. Like, I will disappear. And so that's what I did for the next 3 months. Nothing. He would call me multiple times, message me. Nothing. I would pretend he didn't even exist. Now, was that fair? No. But like I said, I was just so hurt by this female. I did not want this to happen again. So finally 3 months go by and I get the courage to talk to my brother again. And so we finally meet up and we talk. And he pulled me aside and he was like, look, I understand the situation. Like, that sucks. First off, that I don't even talk to her anymore. And I'm like, thanks, I appreciate that. And he's like, 2, what you did, not even for my sake, for your future girlfriend, your future wife, or whoever, you can't just do that. You can't just run away from a problem and not talk to that person because you're just that upset. And that hit me in such a place that I was like, damn, I never really looked at it like that before my entire life. I was just like, let me just get away from this problem, and then when I'm ready, I can come back. Because he was like, what if I was your wife and you did that? You just gonna disappear for 3 months and come back? No, that's not how it works. So just letting you know, for future reference, you gotta work on that. And ever since that day, I've definitely been working on expressing myself when I'm upset or angry. Now, I do still need a little bit of time, but I don't take months or days. You know, I'll just take an hour or two. You know, I'll project and say, hey, I need some time to myself. I'll come back when I'm ready. To my brother, I already apologized a billion times, but this is me apologizing again. I wasn't upset at you. I was upset at the whole situation. And that Sarah! Oh my God. Oh, am I still hurt about it? As you can see, just a tad. That's the heartbreak story. And she came back, bro. I still can't believe that she came back, bro. Till this day, I've not talked to her. I blocked her from all social media. Did I unblock her? I don't know. I did check on her, was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I don't know. I lost count. I think she has a baby or something. I don't even care. And as for Mike, I did remember a couple years after I graduated, we had like an alumni get together that was orchestrated by the school, and we talk real fast, but like it's so petty of me. Like, obviously it's happened. What, I've graduated in 2012. It happened in 2011. So this was 13 years ago. Oh my God, 13 years. I sound so old. So yeah, this happened 13 years ago. Obviously, I'm still butthurt by that. Like, that was my first love, and 13 years later. Yeah, Mike, I talked to him like that brief time. I think he's married now, so I guess good for him. But yeah, that was my first heartbreak, and man, it sucked, man. It sucked. That was the hardest thing I had to go through in my teen years, for sure. So yeah, now you guys know. Not a lot of people know that story about me, and yeah, that's the reason why I have trust issues now. Thanks, Sarah, for that. Still working on that, but hey, all that made me the person I am today, so it's whatever, I guess. Guys, you just got a little glimpse of a core memory of my life, a core happening of my life. Literally shaped who I am, and you guys now know. That's crazy. We're just like this now. Like, we're just like this. I'm telling y'all everything. Well, that's it for this story time. Until next time.